Yeah, sort of our new time zone. Might make the people on the West Coast a little happier. Never know. Yeah. Facebook notifications? Not thinking they're there. Okay. Happy Tuesday. Hopefully everyone had a good weekend. Spent a little bit of time thinking about why we had a holiday weekend and the importance of it. So somebody sent me an email this morning, and it kind of goes along with what was written about in the Friday Five last week. Spring is this season of green and wind and the wood personality. And if you have an animal who's a wood personality, those are the guys, a lot of the working dogs, herding dogs, like shepherds or border collies or the Australian cattle dogs or Australian shepherds. They're high energy. They need a job. They need an outlet for their energy. Good morning, Eva. It's probably evening for you. And if those dogs don't have that outlet, then they can get frustrated. And what we see during the green season, during spring, during wood, animals that have a wood personality, if anything is out of balance and we have excesses with those animals, it's going to show up more during this time. So summer is fire, and we'll see animals that have fire personalities. Sometimes their things that are out of whack will show up more during the summer. Animals with water personalities, their problems will show up more in the winter. That's why we see a lot more blocked kitty cats who can't urinate in January and February. I never understood that until I started studying Chinese medicine and said, oh, there's a reason why there's a seasonality. You wouldn't think there would be for that. So for these animals that are wood personalities, they like to work. They kind of like to be in charge a little bit. They don't like to be told what to do. Sometimes they don't take discipline that well. If they're very well balanced, they can be very well disciplined. So when you see a working shepherd who's doing his job, like the police dogs, when they're doing their job and they have that outlet for the job that they need to do, then they can be some of the best trained dogs. And so we'll see that with agility dogs. They like to have a job. So these dogs can make really good agility dogs. That's why we see a lot of border collies that are great agility dogs. But when they're out of balance, their problems will show up as worse. So seizures, because those very commonly are a liver generated problem, we'll see seizures get worse during this time of year if the animal has an excess. We will see anxiety get worse because they're holding all that frustration and anxiety in their middle. So it's a liver chi stagnation. So what do we need to do with these guys? We need to drain them. And that means feeding things like asparagus, dandelion greens, all those things that I talk about to help drain that liver, move the chi. So we want things that are going to help resolve chi. So when you're looking in the Yin and Yang book, you want to look, well, actually it's in the Needles to Natural book too. You want to look for foods that are good at resolving stagnation, things that are chi tonics, things that are going to get things moving. And these dogs need a job. We don't see very many wood personality cats. Occasionally we'll get one. They're a little angry, the angry cats. Tricolor kitties, calicos. My calico was a wood personality and actually died of a tumor in her bile ducts in the liver. Shocking. Could have been able to predict that one. So these animals need an outlet. So if you have an animal that has, frustration, and they're lashing out, or they're having more seizures, or they're having more anxiety issues, we get more storms in the spring. So that's a bad combination. We've got these animals that have all this anxiety locked up inside, all this frustration locked up inside, and then we put a big storm on top of that, and they are just shaking like a leaf, and it can actually throw them into a seizure. So yeah, Malinois is a wood personality. They're very common, very common. You're in the middle of a storm now. So what are you going to do for these guys? Let's drain those livers. Let's get those chi tonics. Let's get those things to resolve stagnation, and let's drain the liver. This is where my dandelion greens are so important. Mushrooms can be very helpful for this. CBD is phenomenal for these guys. And get them to work. Give them a job. Find some outlet for them. They need to be out exercising. They need to be out running around. They need to be herding something. They need to be doing a job. Get them to be as active as you possibly can, so that we're decreasing that frustration. If we don't give them that outlet, and if you have an older dog who has this problem, and they're not able to move around very well, you can't take them out and get all that exercise, then set up scent work in the house or in your yard, something where they don't have to move as much, doing puzzle toys, things that can give them that outlet that they need. If we don't do that, things will just continue to build and build and build and build. The seizures get worse. The anxiety gets worse. We need to move all that stuff along, and we need to give these guys a job. That is different from a wood personality that has a deficiency. So those would be the guys who have like a liver blood deficiency. They're going to have weak tendons, weak ligaments, more prone to cruciate tears. They're going to have, so the guys with the chi stagnation, they're going to have purple in the middle of their tongue. My tongue might be a little red. For those who have a deficiency, a wood personality with a deficiency, they're going to have a pale, dry tongue, because that's a liver blood deficiency. They may have dry, flaky coat. Those are the ones where we actually want to build the liver blood. So we're giving eggs, we're giving sardines, we're going to use dark leafy greens. The dark leafy greens are good for these guys either way. So for those of you who you just got notified, great, we're 8 minutes in and Facebook woke up. Oh well. I don't think I'll be doing 8 a.m.s very commonly anymore. We're probably going to be 8:30, 9 o'clock. So sorry, the time is shifting a little bit. I know it's easier for you guys if we're always at the same time. So, okay. We got the vet coming for Mama Ella today. She's much better. The vet came out Friday because she was coughing and had a snotty nose. All the other donkeys went through the respiratory thing a month ago. Ella waited a month and got pretty sick, stopped eating. The vet came. We had to give her tranquilizers just to be able to catch her, because she's the one we haven't been able to touch yet. But we did manage to get antibiotics, and she's feeling much better, but she needs another antibiotic injection today. So I'm gonna go out and give her some feed with some acepromazine, which apparently great. It works great orally for these guys. So I will feed her a little bit of food with her sedative in it, and then we can get her second antibiotic injection. And then on Friday, I might have to take some video. The veterinarian is coming to get blood and give vaccines to all of the donkeys and hinnies, and the farrier is also coming to start working on their feet. So hopefully that won't be too much of a rodeo. You like the 9 a.m. time slot. I feel like 9's better. Liza's having an ultrasound today. Nanny's feeling great. She has been spending lots of time out at the farm. Yesterday, we have digestive enzymes, the RX-zyme. Also, the fluorophore, the carnivore, is a natural enzyme. Nanny spent lots of time out at the farm yesterday. She got exhausted, came home and took a 2-hour nap. But she's loving being back on the farm, and we're loving having her back home, and she's normal except for being weak. So we got to build her up. We got exercises she's doing. Okay, everybody have a wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow. Let me see if I can get some music playing again. I think I can. Yay. Yeah, we're back in the saddle here. we sell a vitamin mix? You get the mineral. Yeah, so if you're using the canine minerals, you can use the canine essentials, the RX essentials. That's just a general vitamin, or again, you can use the carnivore Fluorophore, which kind of gives you everything. It gives you the minerals, the vitamins, the enzymes, probiotics, prebiotics. So yeah, the carnivore is pretty awesome. Teresa, what's your emergency? Emergency appointment with an ophthalmologist? Let me know. Let me know. Can anxiety cause pancreatitis? Potentially, yeah. It's not pumpkin and sweet potatoes causing it. They're low fat. But anxiety contributes to inflammation. Inflammation, pancreatitis. So, okay. Bye, guys.